So I was at work today, and Doug said, "John, when you're going for your walks, I get lost. I don't know where I am at. I don't know where I am at." And I was like, "Doug, I'm going to make a video and explain the directions as I go." And now you've been watching me through the winter. This is the spring flush. It is just, it's wet, it's lush. There's all kinds of ferns. Got these ferns, that's some kind of fern. Yay. Got skunk cabbage. They call it skunk cabbage because if you kick it, it smells like a skunk, which is not awesome. This guy right here, that fresh green lush beautifulness, that is the multiflora rose bush that hangs on to you and makes it hard to walk through the woods. And that you see sprinkled around everywhere. And then we got a dog who is now a little lighter on his feet. Look how beautiful this stump is. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen Fern Gully, but this is some Fern Gully stuff right here. Oh. This is another thorn bush. This little skunk cabbage coming up. Little multiflora that I cut down. Now I gotta come through. This is poison ivy right there. Right there is poison ivy everywhere. But the poison ivy is becoming less on the path. This is fun over here. Is he still here? He's still here. Let's see if I can get that angle. This is a big fat bumblebee pollinator. This is autumn olive. It puts out these red berries in the fall. So everywhere you see a little white blossom is going to become a berry. And you see them, these trees get thick with them. I'll show you some more out in an open field where there's more sunlight. And they're so prolific, they're invasive, and the birds will eat all those bright red berries. The red attracts. They're really tannic. The flavor of them varies plant to plant. See, I'm already getting stuck. Those berries are really tannic. You have to harvest them at different times, and there's like microclimates within your land that really affect the flavor, and it's really an art to try to get anything usable. And the best you're gonna get edible-wise is like a jelly. So you'll need a pectin, natural or otherwise. Look at Daintyfoot over here, finds all the dry spots. And for being part lab, he is water averse. My microphone's falling down here. Big mature skunk cabbage. Look at that. Beasts. There's a boot for scale. All this brush, thorn brush, or thorn bushes. Virtually impossible to get through here without chipping away. So Doug, I said all that about Doug, and I don't think I said any directions yet. It's beautiful. This is my happy place. This is where my brain resets itself. So right now we're facing due south, that way. East, west, coming around to the dog, who's part Black Angus. And we're facing north. And we're going fairly due north right now. There's a couple acres of buffer between me and the neighbors over here. There's woods and wetlands that direction. This is one of the wettest parts of the walk, and I would like to get to the point where I can redirect it to some higher ground because there's drier paths through there. But either I can continue making new paths, or I redirect and I get closer to the neighbors, which is not what I want. So south, turning around slowly, and headed north again. That's poison ivy, some moss. Couldn't tell you what kind of moss. There's a rock with some poison ivy on it. Cool rock. Doot 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 doot. Ooh, what a beautiful day. Absolutely beautiful. I'll come through here with a scuffle hoe or my scythe, and I get rid of the skunk cabbage just in the path. Keep the path clear. And then either the scythe or the electric weed whacker, I'll keep the grass down. When I do that, what I like about the scythe is that we get that poison ivy when it gets up to a certain size before it starts putting energy back into the roots. You go through and hit it with the scythe, because at that point it's got some structure to it and it'll break against the blade as the blade slices it. And every time you do that, it gets a little weaker. The grasses will grow back faster than the poison ivy does, although it's waiting in the wings to return at any given moment. You know, do what I can to make this. It's worth it to get back here. The poison ivy, the ticks. There's things that are rough about nature and things that are magnificent. So we've come from the south, now southeast. East is that way. South is about that way. So that's southeast. Big cool rock. And then there's a fork in the road at the Vale of Avod, where 5 weary salesmen have laid down their load. And we can go to the north, or we can go south, southwest. And the dog, sometimes the dog chooses, but sometimes I choose. But today we're going to go north. We're going to go to the northernmost edge of the property, where I just bump up against another stone wall. All the skunk cabbage is coming back. And on either side of me, that's what it looks like. Is all the thorny pricklers. A little bunch grass here. You can go bunch grass to bunch grass. Step on some skunk cabbage. Check this guy out. Boom. False strawberry, I believe. Poison ivy. See, the vine is hairy. Poison ivy. Oh, somebody cut it. Ooh, the bugs are out. Time to move. Let's go, Mr. Zip. Just walking around picking up ticks. It's amazing how even a short trip out here will balance out any stresses of the day and will wash off some of the weight from my shoulders. And take a deep breath. So we hit the 10-minute mark. You get to see the dog do his business again. Thanks. The Zip's ringing the bell. We're at the northernmost point of the trail, not of the property. Property still extends a little bit that way. But the trail is at this big white birch tree, then this ash tree. This thing's massive. So this becomes food for the forest floor. It's going to decay and break down. The fungus sets in, and then the bugs drill through it. And there's a whole ecosystem just in this log. And that ecosystem is going to break down that log and feed these plants that will go through cycles of life and death to nourish the bigger plants that will soak up the carbon and breathe out oxygen. And it's incredible being out here. Look at all these solar panels that are creating fresh air. And it's just me and the dog out here. I hope you have a magnificent day, Mr. Doug. Thanks for the mention at lunch. This stuff's great. See you soon, buddy.